Us is on our job description. We already have continuing this topic today because as in last class also we have discussed the same topic, but today we will discuss something more over it, right? So job description, as per the definition that is on your screen, is typically outlines the necessary skills, training, and education needed by a potential employee. It will spell out duties and responsibilities of the job. Once a job description is prepared, it can be served a basis for interviewing candidates or orienting a new employee and finally in the evaluation of job performance. So job description is overall very helpful for the organization to take effective work from the employees, because first of all it's helpful to create a basis for interviewing the candidates, right? Why a base? Because for example, if you are going to have taken an interview of any of the employee as a manager, then what exactly you are looking for? For example, if you are going to have an interview for an technical supervisor in any of the organization, technical in the sense, maybe if software also technical lead is there. So what exactly you are looking for? You are looking for the requirement that particular job required. Technical supervisor is responsible for different activities, so that if the technical supervisor job or a title of that particular job required a leadership quality, a managing quality, then what you are looking for, you are looking for the same thing. Understand? So job description is basically give you an full insight of a particular characteristics that you are looking for the a particular job responsibility that you are looking in a particular uh, prospective employee of your organization, right? So that is why it is very important for the organization to define the job description, to uh, let down the job description very effectively, because the first instance of any organization is what? An interview. When you are going to have an interview, or when you are looking for a new employee for your organization, the entrance of any human resource in any organization is through the interview only. So that is the first step. And as an HR manager, it's very important for you to have exactly matching the same characteristic of an individual that a job requires, right? So that is the first basis for interviewing the candidates. Then orienting a new employee. So once the employee have joined your organization, then what is next step? Once you have conducted the interview, and once after all activity, after all formalities, when the employee have joined your organization, then what is the important thing here? You required a kind of orientation for a new employee, because as an employee, the employee have not much aware about what kind of job it is, for whom it is recruited, for whom that employee is recruited. So to give a better information about that job to the employee, you need a orientation of that new employee, and that orientation become effective only when you have a clear job description with you. Because the more the clear job description is there, the more effective that orientation is there, and the more effective that employee have to understand about the organization, about the job. That effectiveness become more, because the new employee is more clear about the job, right? The more the clarity, if for example, if I have joined any organization, and the more the clarity is there for me to what I have to do for this organization, what is my responsibility, what I should have to perform, to whom I have to report, what kind of results I should have to give it to the company, to the organization. The more the clarity of all these things, what are different kind of objectives I have, the more the clarity I have towards my job, the more effective that work will be. Right? That is why the job description is so much important for an employee. And finally, in the evaluation of job performance, that is the most important part. Once you have started your work, once a certain time period of your job is going to complete, then after that time period, after 1 year, then job evaluation will be there. Evaluation in the sense how much effective you were in a particular job, how much you have gave to your organization through your job, whether it's effective or not. It is only going to have understand through a evaluation, right? So that evaluation is basically based on what? Job description. Because job description is clearly mentioning that what are different kinds of performance that the employee should have to perform in organization. What different kinds of expectations are there of a management from the employee. Everything is mentioned under job description. So once the time period is going to complete, once the particular time period or a year is going to complete, then after a year, then management is going to match the job descriptions detail with what you have did for that organization. The more the match will be there, the more better the incentives for the employees, right? That evaluation is going to complete on the basis of that only. For example, uh, if you have studied very well, if you have did a lot of hard work, and finally when you give your exams and that much of percentage will not come, then what it mean? It means that expectation is not going to meet as per the requirement of your hard work. So something has missed, so you have to match it where I have did a mistake, where I have a lack of hard work is there. So that evaluation is very important for any organization, because it tells the organization what exactly they gain from that particular employee, right? So using job description is a part of good management. So the better the job description is there, the better the organization in managing the particular work culture of the organization, right? Then descriptions of job titles appear in a variety of forms in the workplace: recruitment ads, compensation surveys, and other benchmarking tools, as well as corporate or departmental development plans, all use some method of describing a job. Because what happens is the descriptions is always be there. For example, if you want a new employee, then what you should have to do? You have to give the recruitment ad. In that recruitment ad, you are clearly mentioning that what exactly you are looking for. You are looking for a technical lead, you are looking for a sales manager, and under that ad, some kind of introductory part is also there of job description, like what you are basically looking for an employee. For example, if the sales manager ad is there, then you should have to be right there. The candidate should be a very much uh, uh, effective in communication. The candidate should be very much effective in leadership, right? So what does it mean? You are mentioning something that already in the job description. If you need an area manager, if you need a sales manager, the first important thing is what you should require effective communications from them. So job description is what? Better communication for from an employee they're expecting. And the same thing you are mentioning in recruitment ads. Compensation surveys. Surveys are there. How much compensation should be given to the employee based on their performances? That is also based on job description. And other benchmarking. Benchmarking in the sense some effective tools are there that are basically helps the organization to benchmark something. Benchmark means they are going to set certain standard, right? For example, if you have if you were in the, for example, first semester, in the first semester you have got an 82% or 85%, right? Now what happened? It's a benchmark for you. Now the subsequent semester, you have performed more than it, because already in the first semester you created a one benchmark of 85%, right? So these job descriptions are very much effective in benchmarking, to to let down certain standard for the job, or the job responsibilities, right? Or departmental development plans. For example, if you're planning to developing your department, then also job describing the job is very important. Describing in the sense, job description is what? Describing a job. What is that job? What are responsibility you have to handle? What are different kinds of duties that you have to perform? To whom do you have report? What is the job title? What are different expectations are there from you? All these things are basically clearly mentioning under job description, right? Now, uh, some more contains job identification, job summary, job duties related to job description. What are different kinds of, can say, fundamentals are there under job description, right? So first one is job identification. Job identification, organizational position, which includes job title, code number of the job, department or division where the job is located. This part of job description helps to identify and designate the job. So there are different parts of job description that combinedly combinedly make a job description. So what are different parts? First one is job identification, second is job summary, then job duties and responsibilities, then working conditions, then social environment, machine tools and equipment, supervision, and other related informations other than job, right? So these are all content that combinedly make a job description concept. The first one is job identification. Under that, job identification is what? Where a job title is there. Job title in the sense, area manager, service manager, technical lead, sales executives, HR executives. So these are all title of the particular job. Then code number is also there. For every job, for every title, there is certain code number of in every organization. From that code number, normally that particular employee is going to identify it. Then department, in which department you are working, whether you are in the sales department, whether you're in the HR department, whether you're working in the production department. Then division is there. Then where that job is located, in which area it is located, right? That is mentioning under this job identification. This part of job description helps to identify and designate the job. Job identification is what is helpful for identifying an individual. For example, you are an area manager, you are a technical lead, your designation is area manager, right? So all this details, individual identifiable details, is under job identification only. Then job summary is there, right? Is basically job summary serves two important purpose. First is what? It provides a short definition which is useful as an additional identification information when a job title is not adequate. Then second, it serves a summary to orient the reader towards an understanding of detailed information, which is as follows. It gives the reader a quick capsule explanation of content of a job, usually in one or two sentences, right? So this is called a job summary. Summary in the sense, other than title, certain details are there that what exactly that job is. It means that uh, what uh, what uh, ex- a particular employee should have to perform in a particular job, right? In the sense, different informations like purpose of a particular job like this, right? It provides a short definition, very short definition. And the second point is what? It helps the reader. For example, if you have an HR manager in your organization, the first one is what? Job identification. Job identification is what? Area manager. Now, job summary is what? Here, looking for the sales of all the area, target area, achieve communication skills required, right? Leadership skills required. So these are all a small summary under the title. Okay, it's a quick capsule explanation. Means once you're going to have see it, you can able to understand that what exactly that job is. Okay. Then job duties and responsibilities. After that summary, then a detailed duties and responsibilities are there that under that particular job description, right? What is that? Job duties and responsibilities give a comprehensive listing of the duties together with some indication of the frequency of occurrence or percentages of time devoted to each major duty. It is regarded as a heart of the job. So duties and job responsibilities are very important for the organization to detail it very clearly, because if I'm going to have joined any organization, so I should have to understand that what exactly I am going to do for that job, that organization through that job. That clarity is very important for the employee also and for the employer also. Why for employer? Because employer should know, should have to understand that what exactly they are looking in an employee. And employee should have also important for them, because they also look able to understand that what exactly the management is expected from them, right? So in both the sides, job duties and responsibilities are very important, because it gives an employee an idea that what exactly different kinds of activities and what kind of performances they should have to show to the organization under a particular job title. For example, if the area manager is there, then different responsibility is there. For example, first one, they should all have to take care of the territory sales, first one. Then they should have to maintain a relationship with the distributors. Then they should have to continuously tour along the territory. So every point also have give certain percentages that which particular point is more important for them, what is the major weightage in that particular points. For area manager, first point is sales. They should have to maintain and create a growth in a sales of the organization. So that is the major point. It means that 50% of the weightage for that job is sales only. Then second 25% is for the relationship development, right? Then 10% is for the better management of the subordinates. So like this weightage also is given for every duty in a particular job duties and responsibilities, right? It's considered as a heart of job. Because heart of job, why? Because if duties and responsibilities are not clear to the employees, then it is quite impossible for them to perform effectively in the organization, right? Then working conditions. Working conditions usually give us information about the environment in which a job holder must work. This includes heat, cold, dust, noise level, moisture, fumes, etc. Nature of risk, their possibility of occurrence are also given. So, for example, if any of the organization, if any of the employees there, that their duty is to work technically on the basement of the organization, workshop. Then, for example, if they are going to handle any typical complicated machinery, so everything is mentioned under that, right? in which condition you have to work, what are different kinds of possible risks are there. So everything is mentioned because the employee should have very much clear about what are different kinds of. So job duties and responsibilities are very important fact and very important concept, because it's clearly mentioning the what exactly the duties and responsibilities under that job. And for understanding that, the employee should have to very much clear about it. And the more the clarity is, the more the better for the employees to perform well. And even if this job duties and responsibilities are clearly conveying to the employees, then it is better for the employers also. So to know the duties and responsibilities and to design or to make that particular point more effective is better for employers also and for the employees also, right? So job duties and responsibilities give a comprehensive listing of the duties, together with some indication of the frequencies of occurrence or percentages of time devoted to each major duty. It is regarded as the heart of job. So what I told you earlier also, job duties and responsibilities have not only mentioning or listing out the duties that what the employee should have to do, but also that duties have certain weightages also. It means that which kind of duty have more important for the for the employee, and which one is possessing a less weightage, right? For example, if you have a technical lead, so the more weightage is to 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 make an understanding about among the employees about the that project, whether they are understanding it or not, or combinedly put in more pressure over the employees to perform well and to complete that project on time. Uh, that is the major responsibility under that job. Or they have other responsibilities also, like they have to become a more mental relations among the employees. They have to quarterly working for the can say uh, com- that team is going to work effectively. So these are all duties that the team leader should have to do. But under that duties also certain duties are have more weightages and certain duties have less. So that also have normally clearly mentioning under job description, that is job duties and responsibility. Then next one is working condition. Working condition usually give us information about the environment in which a job holder must work. This includes heat, cold, dust, noise level, moisture, fumes, etc. Nature of risk, their possibility of occurrence are also given. So other than this, working condition also is one of the part of the job description, where it is clearly mentioning that what kind of environment will be there, where the employee has to handle that job, whether it's a condition the heat is more, whether the cold will be the more, or dust or noise level or moisture, fumes, etc. So if all the things will clearly mentioning, if all the things are clearly known to the employee, then they have more effective in the particular work environment. Sometimes the nature of the of risk there also in that particular job that they also have known to them, because the if the employee have more, you can say, informed about this these points, then they become more effective in the particular job environment, right? Working conditions and environment, right? Then social environment is also there, where size of the work group and interpersonal interactions required to perform the job are given. Training and development facilities may also be mentioned. So social environment is what, where the employee should know how many team members are there with whom they have to work, so that they become more effective in the organization, so they can able to manage them under that team, right? So based on their size also, they can going to adjust themselves among them. So that is also important point, that is interpersonal interactions also required whenever the employees are in a team. So that is also given in the particular uh, social environment point. Training and development facilities also mentioning there. It means that whenever an employee is going to join any organization, so what different kinds of training and development facilities will be there. Based on that, they're going to have adjust themselves, and they have to trying to develop themselves among the organization. Then machine tools and equipment also, the names of major machines, tools, and equipment materials used in the job are described. In a job description, it is clearly mentioning that what kind of machines and tools and equipments are there, to whom the employee is going to handle. So because because it helps the um, employee to understand the nature of the particular job, right? Then supervision is one of the important factor again. Under it is a given the number of persons to be supervised along with their job titles and extent of supervision. So supervision under is what they are able to understand that how many numbers of uh, employees or workers or laborers are there to whom a particular uh, employee has to handle. So that is also important, because if they have know that particular fact, then they can able to know the extent of supervision. It means up to what level they have to supervise the people or the person in a particular organization, right? Then relation to other jobs, the jobs immediately below and above are mentioned. It provides an idea of vertical workflow and channels of promotion. It also indicates to whom the job holder will report and who will report to him. So relations to other jobs is very important fact under job description, because it's uh, it's it's enabled the employees to work effectively with the other departments also, because they know the vertical flow also and the channel of promotion also, and accordingly they are more concentrating over their work, because they know that if they're going to have work hard, if they're going to have perform well in a particular position, so at what level, up to what level they're going to promote themselves in a particular organization. And it indicates also that with to whom they have to report, and that particular job holder will report to whom, or that employees report to whom, and who will report to them. So that is also is very important fact that is in relation to other jobs. Then the another important fact is how to write job description. So as we have all seen here that how important the job description is. Up to this slide we have discussed about the meaning of job description, we have discussed about the importance of job description, we also have discussed about how, how these different parts like job summary, job responsibility is combinedly constitute a job description concept. And we understand one separately also the meaning of all these points, that's the job identification, job summary, right, duties and responsibilities, right? So now we understand all these points, so now we have uh, more understanding over that how to write the job description, because writing a job description is a very big responsibility, because if it is not going to have clear, if it is not going to have mentioned um, effectively that what exactly that job is, then uh, it's difficult for the employees to perform well in a particular job holding position, right? So there is a no standard format although for writing the job description, but mostly widely used formats contain the following sections. So what are different kind of sections are there where that job descriptions have plays a very vital role, like job identification, job summary, responsibilities and duties, accountabilities, and job specifications. So uh, these are the very important parts where the management has to put their attention. They have to clearly trying to build up the kind of content over all these points like job identification, job summary, responsibilities and duties, accountabilities, and job specification, right? So one by one we're going to have understand it. Job identification is what, under which the section of a job description usually follows the job title. It includes such items as follows: job title, I already told you; job code, in which plant and department they're going to work; what are different division is there, and immediate supervisor's title, right? Then the most important element in this section is the job title. A good job title accomplishes the following objectives. It should tell in a word or two what the job consists of. It should indicate the job's specific field of activity, its relationship to the field, and its professional standing. It should be as brief as possible, and it is consists of more than one word, and it should be in natural order. For example, computer operator, not operator computer, so that it will be easy to use in written or spoken form. So as you all see here, how important the job title is. If it is clearly if it is more appropriately defined, then for anyone it is very easy to understand that what exactly that job is, and it's related to what. For example, here they have given an example that is computer operator. So computer operator, if it's going to have a right, if in any of the documentation form, then it is clearly understandable that the job holder should have to operate the computers, and they have to assist the office uh, on that based on computer operations, right? Or for example, if I'm going to tell you that sales representative, so sales representative means is what, that person is basically representing the sales in a market. So it's a very frontline job of the sales area, right? So it is, that is why it is very important for the organization. It's a very important element, so to give a good job title so that objectives can be accomplished, right? Then another points are there. It should indicate skill level or supervisory level where valid distinction exists. It can able to understand also from the job title that what kind of skill level or supervisory level is required for the job. Then it should be similar or identical to one of the titles the job has had in the past. So employees and supervisors won't have to learn a completely new vocabulary every time job descriptions are written or revised. So that is important because from this job title, the supervisors can easily learn what exactly that job description is, right? So this then the next one is job summary. The, the second section of the good job description format is what, after defining the job title effectively, then the second important part in job description is job summary. The second section of the good job description format is known as the job summary. It is a brief narrative picture of the job that highlights its general characteristics. The job summary should provide enough information to differentiate the major functions and activities of the job from those of the other job. As I already told you earlier also, job summary is small, a very precise description of a particular job that narrate a particular job's uh, highlights characteristics, right? It's basically it's a narrative. You can just through that summary you can able to picturize, you can able to understand what is exactly this job is, right? So for today's class, I think it's sufficient. We're going to have continue the same points in our next class also, and we're going to take a new topic also, right? Okay, thank you for today.